I swear to God, this Joe Biden thing's about to piss me the fuck off. Another woman came out today and said, Joe Biden force Eskimo kissed me. Now look, the personal space thing, that's a thing. People like their personal space. When I was a teenager, I used to call myself a conqueror of personal space. And I would stand in other people's personal space whenever they complained to me about personal space. And I would say, I have conquered this personal space. It's mine now. And then I would just keep standing there. And, you know, and it was funny. It was a funny joke. Right? Joe Biden, I think, is for real the conqueror of personal space. And he's a very old man. He hasn't learned the lesson of, it's not as funny as you think it is. Right? It gets you in a lot of trouble. Only took getting me in trouble one time for me to go, yeah, I think that joke's getting old. And I stopped telling it. Joe Biden doesn't fucking care. He's like, well, I'm affectionate. And it's like, yeah, well, that's good for you, but what pissed me off, this chick comes out and says this, and I'm listening to the radio, and a Democratic pundit, I think, says, oh, well, I mean, we're talking about ancient history here. That was like 5 years ago. And I went, are you fucking kidding me? Because I remember a whole lot of people during the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings that were saying 35 years ago, you think that's a long time ago to be talking about this sort of shit? Like, what do you have, even, at this point? 5 years ago? That's now, all of a sudden, ancient fucking history. People saying, well, I've worked alongside Joe Biden for 20, 30, 40 years. And I've never even had a scintilla, which is an important word in this sentence. I've never even seen a scintilla of proof that he's in any way inappropriate. Right? I remember during the Kavanaugh hearing, a lot of people saying, I've worked alongside Brett Kavanaugh for 10, 20, 30 years, and never a scintilla of inappropriate activity. It's why the word stuck out in my mind, because when everybody was talking about scintillas of things, and what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Oh, well, when the Democrats don't see a scintilla of proof. Oh, I guess, you know, fuck it, it's a long time ago, it's 5 years. But when there isn't a scintilla of recent evidence of recent behavior, and 35 years ago it's a fucking issue, like, that drove me fucking nuts. And then, as the cherry on top, they asked the first woman, the woman who had her shoulder rubbed and her hair smelled and the back of her head kissed or whatever. They asked her, well, would you vote for him? And you know what she said? She said, well, not in the primaries. I wouldn't vote for him in the primaries. But, you know, if it's between him and Donald Trump, yeah, I'd vote for him. And I'm like, your attacker? You'd vote for your attacker over Donald Trump. You really need to fucking analyze your head. If you're coming out with this like, oh, this is a problem, but I'd still vote for the guy, just not in the primaries. A funny little factoid I found out, yeah, she used to work for Bernie Sanders too, so no surprise there. Not sure if I fucking believe that she gives a flying fuck anymore. I think that this has now become a thing where she's saying this to try and keep him from running because she feels that he'll beat Bernie Sanders and she thinks Bernie Sanders is a lock. Which sounds more plausible? She worked for Bernie. She doesn't want Bernie to lose again. So, this weird thing happened to me with Joe Biden. Joe Biden's really Bernie's only competition. I'll just tell everybody this weird thing that happened with me and Joe Biden. or she's actually really upset that Joe Biden smelled her hair and kissed the back of her head. Boy, I don't know. And then this other chick, the forced Eskimo kiss, right? She came out and said, I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for any man. I think Joe Biden and all the rest of the man, they need to step aside and let one of those ladies go. Because vagina. So, what's more plausible in that situation? This lady would rather have a woman because vagina than a man. So, hey, I'll just come out with my Eskimo story about Joe Biden and how he's a creepy Eskimo kisser. And then that way maybe he won't run and one of the ladies will get the nomination. Or that this chick is really, really super upset about her forced Eskimo kiss with Joe Biden. Boy, I don't know. And this is what pisses me off. Because really, honestly, it could be either way. But these kind of things, these kind of glaringly obvious, oh, you're just an asshole, not a victim. Ah, I got you. These kind of situations that where real victims see this shit and they go, well, nobody's going to believe me because there's a little bit of possibility of this sort of thing going on with me. Whereas in these other situations, it's fucking blatant. It's the double standard. And here we are again. Everybody called out the double standard months ago for whatever it was months ago. Everybody called out the double standard last week for whatever it was last week. And everybody's calling out the double standards for years ago when it was for years ago. And everybody's going to be calling out these double standards in a couple of months for whatever double standard that they fucking throw out again. That's going to be kind of like this situation. When Bernie Sanders gets really hammered for his sexual improprieties that everybody's saying there's going on. Well, it was a long time ago. So, well, there's no evidence. Oh, all of a sudden we give a shit when it's a long time ago and there's no evidence. Well. Like, dude, this shit just pisses me off. That's why I think that we need to understand that our politicians these days, they're not really people. We need to understand this, not believe it, right? In the same way that we understand that actors and actresses, Chris Hemsworth, not a real person in the respect of, you know, we can think of him as, well, he's just Thor. You know what I mean? Like, he's just an actor. He's not really like that. You know, he can't really shoot lightning. And he's not a god, no matter what you believe. And, you know, so he's not really a real person, even though it is a real person playing that character. We need to have that understanding the same way about our politicians. They're not really real people, as in they actually think anything that they say. They're actors. They're acting like they want to represent you. But what they want is what I can only imagine is just the easiest fucking job in the world at this point. Like, I forget what his name was, but when, oh shit, who was it? Some baseball player that I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. And no matter how long I stall, it's just not fucking coming to me. But there was a baseball player that was really fucking good. Really fucking good. And he played in his position, it's like a record. Played in his position for like 140 games in a row or some shit like that. And they said the easiest job in the world would be that guy's backup. Because he always played 140 fucking games, you're just sitting there doing nothing, but you're still getting paid, you're still on the team, you're still in the majors, right? The easiest fucking job in the world, I think, honestly, would be to be an elected Democrat official. Not an elected Democratic official. Some of those people actually have to work. An elected Democrat official. If you're on Congress or in the Senate as a Democrat, holy shit. All you need to deal with is looking yourself in the mirror. That's it. That's really all you need to deal with. All you need to be able to do is look at yourself in the mirror no matter what act you commit. And then other than that, just fucking say whatever the hell everybody else is saying. Because fuck it. Why not? And when they inevitably dig something up on you, either you just don't bother to comment on it at all, or you go, I'll use the same excuses the Republicans use when they get in trouble that I don't accept. So everybody's already doing your work for you. You just, oh yeah, I agree with them. Oh, Green New Deal? Sounds great. Everybody's saying, sounds great. I think it sounds great. How much is it going to cost? Shit. Who came up with it? Fuck. Sounds great. It costs a lot, but we're not really seriously thinking about doing it. It costs too much money, but it sounds great. That's all you need to do. Sounds great. Yeah. Do we like this position? I like it too. Donald Trump said it's bad. He said I'm a cool guy? Oh. Well, fuck him. I don't like him. I don't need his approval. He's bad. Like, that's all you need. That's all you need. It's infuriating to me to hear all the same things that were said last year for Brett Kavanaugh, in defense of Brett Kavanaugh. All of the exact same shit. And now here it's being said for fucking Joe Biden. Granted, two vastly different accusations. One of them is almost totally unbelievable on the face of it. And the other one, we have photos and video of. It is not a secret that Joe Biden, right, is a fucking creepy ass dude. It was a giant secret that Brett Kavanaugh was running gang rape rings. That was a huge secret because it wasn't real. Whereas I put up my thumbnail in the video yesterday, put the same fucking thumbnail in the video today, 4 pictures of Joe Biden being a creepy motherfucker. So yeah, there's very, very different accusations, so I can understand how there may be some difference in the way they're treated, but so whatever, fuck it. It's just assholes. And it's like, and people vote for them. People trust these people. They believe these people. They buy into this shit, and never at any point do they think to themselves, I can't believe we're okay with that argument now for this. Because we weren't okay with the same argument before. And we had a lot sketchier shit to go on then than we do now. Now we're okay with it? Alright. Like, do any of these people look in their mirror ever and think to themselves, how the fuck do I get up and continue to do this shit every fucking day? Like, how retarded am I going to have to make myself look today? That would be what I'd be asking myself in the mirror every day. How much stupider am I going to have to look for whatever it was that happened last night or this fucking morning or is going to happen this afternoon? You're selling your intelligence thing. I don't understand it. There isn't a man. No. Not even for the presidency. whatever. That's just the thing. And it's going to keep on happening. Nothing's going to change. Because while everybody calls people out for this, the people who are calling people out for this is the people on Fox, and me, and other people like me on YouTube. I doubt there's a lot of people at home, normal average everyday citizens don't give a flying fuck one way or another. They just want to have jobs. But like the people on the left who screamed about how fucking Brett Kavanaugh is a terrible, terrible fucking person. How they can seriously sit there and be like, well, Joe Biden. This shit happened a long time ago. And that, like, they don't have that little part in their brain that goes, hey, dummy. Listen to what you're saying right now. Somebody's going to call you an asshole someday. Yet here we are. Now, I'm not saying that they need to lock Joe Biden up. I'm not saying that he shouldn't run for president. Well, I don't think he should run for president, but it's only because I highly doubt I'm going to like his policies. And if I wouldn't vote for him as president, it would be because I don't like his policies. He could smell the heads of every woman in my family and make them all very, very uncomfortable. And first of all, I'd probably be laughing hysterical while it happened, because that would just be funny to me. But if his policies are for shit, I ain't voting for him. I don't care how many heads he's sniffed. It's so stupid to me. I don't care how many forced nose rubs he's given to people. Say something about it at the time. Go, that's really fucking weird. Why are you doing this? I ain't rubbing noses with you, man. Like, why don't you do that? Why don't you pull away, put your arms straight out and go, hey, no, fuck off. I don't give a fuck about the power difference and all that shit. That's shit that you think matters to you because you think it matters to you. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. People who do that kind of shit use their power against other people because they wouldn't play ball with them sexually. Oh my God, that shit never goes right. As long as you do it right from the start. Say you've got a problem in the moment, make sure other people see it. And then when that person tries to fuck you up, that's when you really come out with, this happened, I've got witnesses, I said something at the time, now my life is slowly being ruined by this motherfucker. Guess what happens? All of a sudden you're making millions on book deals, they're in prison. Funny how the world works. As long as everybody's doing what they need to be doing when they need to be doing it, it's amazing how well shit actually works out for you. There are rare occasions where things don't work perfectly. But we don't live in a perfect world. We never have, we never will. We also need to understand that shit too. There's always going to be times where things don't go right. But, at least in those instances, you can legitimately sit there and say, well, I did everything I could do. Now, everything's not always in your hands. And when shit's not in your hands and you do everything you can do to rectify the situation and it doesn't get fixed, you did everything you could do. But 9 times out of 10, you come out on top if you're doing what you should be doing. So there's my lesson for today to go along with this. But it's, who fucking cares? I don't care how many chicks he makes uncomfortable. You think I've never made a girl uncomfortable? I've made a lot of women uncomfortable in my days because there was once upon a time that wasn't considered rape. And apparently it's not considered rape anymore. But I remember when the Kavanaugh thing was going on, any sort of thing that you did that made a woman uncomfortable in any way, no matter what it was, you're a rapist. So, but hey, different strokes for different folks, I guess.